Alright, so let's talk about the EchoBike screen. We're going to use the EchoBike for our example, but the same numbers will apply over to the Assault bike. It's just a different monitor, so the numbers are going to be in a different place. So starting up in your top left corner here is your speed, and that's in miles per hour, distance over time basically. Moving towards the middle is watts. I'm going to have to keep this thing pedaling so that it stays on, doesn't kick off on us. But in the middle is watts, which is a unit of power. So this is measuring the power that you're putting into the bike. RPMs beside that, that's revolutions per minute. That's the number of times that wheel is spinning per minute. Bottom left-hand corner here is distance. That's in miles. Occasionally these will be set in kilometers, so sometimes that'll be in kilometers per hour, the speed wheel. And down here will be in kilometers, but for right now it's in miles. Time in the middle, and then calories down here in the bottom right hand corner. Typically when we're doing workouts, we're going for a specific calorie count, depending on the workout, whether that's a high calorie count or a short calorie count. So looking up at the top here, the speed's a great indicator for how fast you're going. The faster you're going, the quicker those calories are going to come to us that we're usually going for in a workout. Don't watch that one. We typically don't watch that one that much. Most of the time we're looking at the two up here in the middle and on the right, the watts and the RPM. So the watts being a unit of power, there's multiple multiple variables in that equation. So it's a good indicator how much power you're putting into the bike. The more power you put into it, the quicker you're going to get your calories. But because of all the different variables, the watts can kind of fluctuate. So even though we're going roughly the same speed, those watts can still fluctuate. And that's because of just there's multiple variables in the equation for power there. So the one I like to watch in workouts is the RPMs. Okay, so it's not, being that it's just revolutions per minute of the wheel, there's not as much variability, not as much moving around of it, and I find it easier to hold a consistent pace with that. So if I'm in a workout and I'm looking to, hold a specific pace to, achieve my calories and still be able to walk away afterwards alive, it's easier for me to watch RPMs and to hold that pace. Okay, a lot of this comes with experience too, so it's watching your RPMs in different types of workouts and seeing what pace works for you. So the pace that allows you to move quickly through your calorie count but to still be able to function afterwards. We don't want your heart rate to spike too high. So paying attention to your RPMs, learning what those paces are for your different types of workouts. For example, like your sprints, your short sprints. A lot of times on Saturdays we start workouts with like 100 calories between your team of 3 or something like that. Those are going to be real short sprints that you're trying to get through the calories quickly and then letting your partners go. So you're going to get a good amount of rest, but you're going to work through those calories quickly. So we would use a real high RPM, typically above like 80, to achieve those quick calories, say maybe 10 to 12 calories, 80 RPMs to get there really quick, and then hop off and rest while our partners go. Then we get a good amount of rest there. Gives us time to recover. If it was, say, 100 calories between, or just for myself in a workout, I obviously wouldn't hold that high RPM and try to go through my workout that way. We would slow down that RPM and find a more manageable pace that we can hold across that time, so we can achieve our calories in a good manner and still be functional afterwards. So if we have to go do something after that. So watching your RPMs, let's say in a workout we've got 30 calories at a time. We want to hold a little bit lower RPM than what we were on the sprint, so something down probably in like the 65 to 70 range. So 30 calories at 65 to 70 is going to take around 2 minutes, something like that. Maybe a little bit more if you're on the slower end of that, the 65 or so. So 2 minutes to do something like that, and you should be functional. It's really handy if you have a heart rate monitor too while you're doing this stuff. You can watch your heart rate and see, I know that if I'm at 91 or 92%, that's a pace that I can maintain and I'll be okay when I get off of it. It's an aggressive pace, but it's one that I can maintain and I'll be all right to get off of it. If I look at it and I'm at 97%, I know that that's not a pace that I can hold. So it either needs to be that I'm in a really short sprint workout and I'll be off quickly and I'll be able to completely rest, or I know that I need to slow down so that I can function when I get off the bike and move to my next movement. We recently had those ones with 50 calories, the 50 calorie sprints at the beginning of the workout. We had a 3-minute rest period after that, so you would hold a higher RPM than if that 3-minute rest period wasn't in there. If we were going straight into I think it was like strict press and toes to bar, if we were going straight into that, we would have held a slower RPM to get us through there and still be functional afterwards. Just the way you have the same strategy for your rowing or for your running. We don't run 100 meters at the same pace as we run like a mile, or we don't row a 250 at the same pace that we row a 2K. So you have your different paces for your different distances. And this is real similar to that. You just have to get your experience and kind of watch your heart rate or know yourself. Use that perceived rate of exertion to know if you're going to be able to function afterwards. So start paying attention to that RPM number, see where you're at with that, see if you can replicate that, and it'll help you in your workouts.